Hi, my name is Yatsia. I am the creator of OnlineTemplateshop.com, and I am so glad you're here because we are going to be creating printables with the theme of New Year's resolutions. You know what people say, New Year, New Me? So that's what we're going to be creating today. And I have three really fun, uniquely designed printables that you can either sell by themselves or you can add to any existing planner, journal, workbook, printable set because they're going to match any type of theme that you have. As always, I like creating printables that I can repurpose, that I can theme based on different holidays or I don't know, any type of activity that we have during the year, because creating unique printables over and over again can get very, very tiring. So I'm going to show you in Canva, of course, how to create printables for the new year that you can repurpose for really any time of the year. So printable number one would be a book log or a reading log that looks so cute because we're going to incorporate the look of books and bookshelves to create this very, very unique, fun printable. Now, printable number two is a fitness log, specifically steps during the day. So those kind of printables where you can track your steps, but again, super, super fun because we're going to incorporate some clip art in there. And finally, the last one, probably my favorite, is a tracker wheel. And yes, maybe you don't know quite what it is, but once you see it, you will recognize it and you will want to use it to be able to incorporate it in your own designs. So somewhere around this video, probably at the bottom, there's a link because I will gift you the printables that I'm going to be creating in this presentation. So whether you want to start from the template that I will provide to you, or you want to follow along and create your own, I got you for either one. So again, thank you for being here and let's get started. So let's start with the book tracker for the new year, and I'm inside of Canva. This is an US letter size, so 8.5 by 11 inches. That's what I will be using. And the first thing that I need to do is grab a square with the straight edges. You'll see one with the straight edges and another one with more rounded edges. We're going to use both, but right now we need the one with the straight edges. And the first thing we're going to do is make it black, or you can make it any color you want, really. Then I'm going to make it smaller so the lines are a little bit thinner. And I'm not using any specific measurements, just until it looks good, basically. This one I want it a little bit thicker because I do want this one to be thicker than the books. Okay, so this one's a little bit thicker, as you can see. Let me make it a lot closer so you can see it. Perfect. And I'm going to place it probably here. If you're mindful of printing, you might want to turn on the margins and also the print bleed. I'm just gonna leave the bleed. I'm not turning off the margins. I'm going to leave the bleed just so I can make sure that I'm aligning everything. If you're using this only for digital use, then you don't have to worry about it. You can go all the way to the edge if you want it. So in this case, I'm just going to keep it like that. I'm going to pull it all the way to the other side, make it a little bit thinner. I think that's fine. Now, I'm going to grab that other square, the one with the rounded edges, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make it black. I'm going to make it smaller just so I can have a thinner line compared to the other one. Maybe a little bit thicker. Let me see. Maybe a little bit thicker. Okay, that's great. Then I'm going to pull it up to make it taller, and to the left to make it a little bit thinner. And this is book spine number 1. See how easy that was? So now all we have to do is click on this again. we're going to duplicate it. We have another one here. And what we can do is we can place it really, really close, but make it a little bit shorter. Then we can click on this one, duplicate it, put it here, but then we can probably maybe give it a little something like that. Make it maybe a little bit taller. Grab this one, duplicate it, put it right here, make it straight again. There we go. Move it a little bit to the side, make it much shorter. We can make it thinner, duplicate, maybe make it a little bit like that. We're going to grab this one that is already straight. We're going to put it here. We're going to make it taller, maybe thinner, and duplicate it. Put another thin one right here. And as you can see, we're creating like a cute, messy look of a bookshelf. That's kind of what I'm trying to recreate here. So I'm going to, again, select this one here, make it thicker, maybe a little bit shorter. Awesome. And as you notice, my strategy here is these thinner ones, maybe they're too thin to be written on, but that's fine. I'm going for a messy type of look where some of them you can write here the title of the book. This one obviously because it's a little bit thicker, and maybe these ones are just decorative. Another thing that you can do is to look for some type of decorative element, and in this case I'm going to be looking for hanging plants that I can change the color of, and I'm going to select this one, for example, bring it up here, and I can see already that I can probably change the color of this one, this dark green. I can change it probably for that gray. This lighter green, I can change it for a lighter gray, and I can probably use it and put it here as a purely decorative element that can go here like this. I can also double click and cut all of that top decoration and just keep it like this. You can play around with different decorative elements. Another decorative element that you can use is something like this. This one, for example, over here, we can bring it up, put it here, and you can use the whole thing, or again, double click to be able to cut a little bit the plant. Probably this one, something like this. Okay, perfect, like that. And then you can cut this one and you get one plant, and you can put it here. So you can play around with the different elements, or just do only the books. And I wanted to show you those options just so you have ideas in your head before you start. I'm going to keep adding more books, again using kind of the same type of I'm just going to duplicate and make them thicker and thinner and all that kind of thing. And as soon as I'm done with this shelf, I will come back. And perfect. I have one shelf down. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and select all of these. I'm going to duplicate it, bring it down somewhere here. I think that's great. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these. I'm going to delete them. Then I'm going to take this one, make it a little bit thicker, separate it a little bit, bring it down, and duplicate it. And then I'm going to create a look of stacked books, about like this. And I'm going to keep duplicating it and make the top one just a little bit smaller, or, thinner than the one under it. So I'm going to keep going. Probably just add like one more. Yeah, just one more. Put it here at the top. Awesome. And this would be super cute to put something on top of it, like some type of pencil case, or it could even be a bookmark of sorts, and just kind of put it at the top. I'm going to select this one just to show you what I mean, but I would totally select something that I could change the colors. See, like I would put some type of decoration here, or even like some type of hanging plant that goes down the side. That would be super cute. Now what I'm going to do to make this one look a little bit different, I'm going to go ahead and make this one a little bit thicker over here. Select this one, make it rest on the books. That could be really pretty. Select this one, make it thicker, maybe a little bit taller, or it could be even something like this. And again, we can change probably the order of the books. I can select, let me select these four, put them down here for now. Select these over here, and I'm going to place them on this side. And this way we have a little bit of visual variety. We can arrange this to make them a little bit taller or shorter. And again, it looks a little bit different than the one at the top, without making so many changes. This is it. This is the final product, and it is so cute. You can see there's a lot of detail here, and it's just a matter of playing around with the sizing of the books, and it makes it so pretty. Now you can go ahead and change colors, you can add clip art, you can add different decorations, and feel free to delete a few of the books if you want more space to put more decor in here, if you're trying to theme this for a specific holiday. And this is something that you can definitely reuse for different holidays and themes. Now let's go and start the second printable. Printable number 2 is going to be a steps tracker. This is a great idea just to be able to incorporate one with any existing design. So what I did, I looked for step here in Canva, found this one, and was able to just crop it to 1 because it comes with 2. So I went ahead and cropped it just to 1, and this is what I got, which I'm going to make a little bit smaller. Put it to the side. Then I'm going to need some text, and I'm going to put it here, the number 1, and I'm going to make it small enough, just right there. I'm going to fix the size. Let's do 14. Let me close this, make it a lot closer. There we go. Now I'm going to put it probably right here. I'm going to duplicate. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put all numbers all the way to 31 stacked on top of each other, and I will come back. I have all numbers so far. Now I want to go ahead and separate them a little bit. So I'm going to pull this down just to leave enough space at the top to put some titles and whatever. Now I'm going to pull this number 31 all the way here, and I'm going to keep moving some numbers. And this doesn't make sense right now, but it will in a minute. Now I'm going to select everything again, go to position, tidy up, and there we go. Tidy up. I don't know. I feel like I said that wrong. So anyway, so now I have all of these numbers here, and I have this over here still. So let's go ahead and add a line. Let me go ahead and click the letter L on my keyboard. Do this, put it over here, and I probably want it somewhere there. I think that's fine. And I'm going to bring it here a little bit lower. Awesome. Now let me click here. No, where is it? Here. And I want it, let me see 1 and see what happens. No, I think it's gotta be, or actually, yeah. Let's just leave it like that. I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate. Rotate about right there. And I'm going to put it over here, make this a little bit shorter. I do realize I could have used a square for this, but sometimes I don't like to use shapes for lines because sometimes it's hard to kind of manipulate later if I wanted to change it. So using lines takes a little bit of time because you actually have to put it together. But to me, that's totally fine. So let me go ahead and make it smaller. I'm going to grab this, duplicate, pull it all the way down, about right there. And I'm going to fix those corners and come back. I have a perfect square. I'm going to grab this text box, duplicate it, put it here, make it a lot bigger. And I'm going to put Jan for January. Going to grab it, I'm going to duplicate it, and then I'm going to put all the months here at the top. That is perfect. I have all the months at the top. Now I'm going to start manipulating these steps, or foot, shoe, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to place it here, maybe a little bit smaller. And the whole purpose is, by the way, so inside the step, someone can actually write the number of steps that they took on that day of the month. So what we need to do now is go ahead and duplicate it and put it perfectly aligned with the numbers and the month. And this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and finish off January and come back. January is done. I'm going to go ahead and select all of these. You could group it at this point and then duplicate. That could totally work. And then I'm going to align it with February. Now I'm going to keep doing this and I will come back and show you what it looks like. That looks so much fun, and I left a little bit of space at the top where you could put a title, clip art, or whatever you wanted. So let's go ahead and move on to printable number 3, which is a tracking wheel or something like that. I'm not quite sure on the name of what this is, but I'm going to show you. And for this, you will need 2 circles, one white circle, one black circle. And I want to make them both a little bit bigger just to start. And I'm going to grab this white circle and I'm going to, let me see, position. Oh, they're perfectly positioned. I don't think so because this one's a little bit bigger. So anyway, they're supposed to be perfectly positioned right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this white one just like the tiniest bit smaller. Okay, select both, position, middle and center, and there we go. Now we have a black circle, basically a lined black circle. And this, I have grouped it, of course, and I can make it a smaller, bigger, whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this here in the center, and I'm going to start making smaller circles and bigger ones. So this one, let's say something like this. Let me put it right there in the center. Okay, so now what I want to do is, let me close this. Let me make it a lot closer. We can go ahead and ungroup and make this white circle the tiniest bit smaller. Again, select, position, there we go, and group it again. Okay, perfect. That's looking a little bit better. Now I'm going to duplicate it, put it right on top, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, but I'm going to send it to the back and try to center it. It's gonna have to be a little bit bigger. Let me put it right there in the center. Awesome. These two. Perfect. And I'm going to keep repeating this same process until I have probably, I would say, 6 or 8 rings, and I will come back. Perfect. So this is what it looks like. We have, I think it's 7 rings where we can write on, and you could just leave it like this, or you can add some lines. And for that, I'm going to click the letter L on my keyboard. I have a black line over here. I'm going to change the size, probably 2. Oh no, 25, no, 2. Okay, that looks like it matches. And I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to make it a lot bigger just so I can see what I'm doing. Select it here, make it as long as that one, and I think that's pretty much perfect. Let's go ahead and go back and see what this looks like. I think that's centered. So I'm going to select it again. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate. I'm going to bring it here to the other side, perfectly centered. I'm going to keep repeating this process until I have 4 lines that are, again, perfectly centered. Where did it go? I duplicated it. Where did it go? Okay, I guess it went nowhere. So let's go ahead. Oh, it went to the top. I see it. I see where it is. Okay. And perfectly centered there. Okay, see, this is where it went. So let me leave it right here because I'm going to use it. So yeah, again, this is like a totally different look from what we had before. And you can keep getting, you know, as intricate as you want to get. And just kind of have fun with it. You could keep, doing something like this, and it can be right there in the center, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep adding lines, but I wanted to show you, you know, kind of the basics. I could keep adding lines like one here, one here, one here. In fact, I'm going to play around with it and come back. And here is where I have landed so far. And you can keep going. You can keep adding lines and making these spaces even smaller or bigger. You could cover some parts and add some lines to write on. And if you have no idea what this is, I recommend go to Pinterest and just enter something like tracking wheel or tracker wheel, something like that. And you'll see, oh my God, hundreds and hundreds of different ideas and different use cases for this type of tracker that can be super, super fun. And one last thing that I wanted to show you, you can make it smaller. It doesn't have to be like a whole page like that. You could even make it smaller, and this could be something you put like on the side of a planner, kind of like that. It the resizing of this looks beautiful, and again, you can play around with it. I just wanted to show you the general idea of what you could do with this, something that you can sell again by itself or incorporate it in an existing planner journal of any kind that you have. Hey, wasn't that fun? Now I have 2 tips for you. Number 1, first of all, you need to go ahead and enter your email so I can email you the templates that I created in this presentation. So again, you don't really have to start from scratch. And yes, you can go ahead and add any colors, clip art, delete some elements, add some elements, make it uniquely yours, and save it as a template so you can reuse it for the rest of the year. Also, which brings me to tip number 2, is go ahead and theme it for whatever you want. Any holiday, any celebrations, seasons of the year. So it's not necessarily for one specific holiday. You can use it for wherever. Thank you for watching this presentation all the way to the end. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the year. Bye-bye.